Hi guys, it's Zu and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing a tag which I haven't done in a while, and this is the Bookish Elements Tag. I was tagged by Berners Bookish Adventures, which is an old friend, and I was very happy because I haven't done a fun tag in a time, and this one is actually very fun. It's very short questions, and I will link the original creators down below so you can give them some love. And let's start. I have here on my notepad because I don't remember questions. So, question number 1. How do you feel about foreshadowing or trumpet hints? Definitely depends on the genre of book. I really like foreshadowing and hints on fantasy books, you know, trying to guide you on the twists and things and a little bit foreshadowing of the world. I really like that. On thrillers it depends on the foreshadowing, because sometimes the foreshadowing is well done and we'll start to catching up things, but sometimes they are too early and too easy to interpret, and you're like, yeah, I know who killed it or I know who did it, and you're like, yep, by the end, yep, I was right. So I think a little bit of foreshadowing is good. I think a little hints throughout the book could be interesting because it captures your attention, like, is this important or is just something that is not related? And I found that very interesting, but sometimes it's a bit too much. 2. Bookmarks. What do you use or do you feel about bending the corner down? No, you don't bend corner downs. Here we treat our books well and respectfully and at the babies, and you know, they need to be in pristine state. And I have a very big collection of bookmarks. I even did a video a couple years ago of all my bookmarks. I'll put here some shirt or something, but I have tons of bookmarks. So I always have a bookmark with me. I always have a bookmark to give away. So always give a bookmark. Sometimes I even choose the bookmark towards the book, like in terms of size, in terms of if I want something dropping out, if it's like a fantasy or something. I have bookmarks for every occasion, so I love a good bookmark. 3. Forgotten bookmarks. Have you ever found something strange in a book? Yes. So as a drifter, as someone who goes to thrift shops and buy books on thrift shops, you always find some books with receipts, sometimes with postcards, you know, some things like that, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cute. You know, because people forget about it. People forget they are reading and they put something and then they left and then they sell the book or they give away, and then you like get that book with that thing. It's so personal. Especially, it's nothing related, but I also love books with annotations. Like if someone gives the books to someone else and I don't know, or if it's a particular, like from grandma or something, it's so precious. It's like, oh my god, this is so precious, this is so heartwarming. I love find books with that. I think it gives books a little bit of character, and I definitely don't mind. 4. Inscriptions and annotations. How do you feel about writing a book, and how do you annotate if you do? So, I'm not a heavy annotator. I never ever annotated a book like so far. I don't have the patience, I don't have the time, and I don't have the energy. Now, I started annotating on The Martian by Andy Weir, which is a book review I really want to do in the near future. I need to finish the book because it sets on Mars, but it sets with real science of, you know, rules of this world. So I thought it could be interesting to bring a little bit of the perspective of the scientist with the science they give and errors and things like that. And I started annotating on the book on pencil because it was the mass paperback. I would get the new edition that is on top that was from Broken Binding, so I was like, I can use this book, but I usually don't annotate on books. I don't like to annotate on books, and when I do find something interesting, well, I usually don't annotate, but even if I did, I have like sticky tabs that are like clear and you can write above, so I have tricks and tips to not mark all the books. I know people tend to do that. I don't like it personally, but if you want to put a book all with colors, it's up to you. But I like to be my books like as pristine as possible. That I think was the only exception, because I needed to write like math and things like that and like articles, so it would be important for me to have the references near and not like in a notebook, because ended up I will be like screaming pages, so it will be easier for me. But it was the only exception so far. Now my friend blocked. Okay. 5. Introductions and footnotes. Do you read them or avoid them? What makes a good introduction? So, I don't tend to read introductions, especially if they're like more than a page long. I'm like, dude, why are you doing such a big introduction if it's nothing related like to the story of the book? Like, leave it. I don't care. Put it on the acknowledgements in the end, but I never read, so no. If it's a small introduction, like 1-2 paragraphs, yeah, that's fine. I would read. Now, in terms of footnotes, it depends. Sometimes there are interesting footnotes, and for example in fantasy books or when you're referencing something, it could be interesting, or even when you are reading historical fiction, you could like have slight footnotes. But sometimes people overdo footnotes, like they use footnotes for everything, and like footnotes that are like bigger than the paragraph. I'm like, if that is such big footnote, it should be on the paragraph and not as a footnote. You know, footnotes should be concise pieces of information that add something or explain something very briefly, not like bigger than the paragraph you're trying to explain. So, but I haven't found many books with footnotes, so I think I'm fine with that point. 6. Accessories. Do you use book accessories like clips on reading light, book sleeves, annotation materials, book stands? So I have book sleeves. I have, for example, this one that came on a book box. I have not a sleeve but a bookcase which I use when I travel with books. I have a reading light that I don't usually do. My room has enough light to read, so it was cheap. My mother needed to make like the cart one for her, so I said, well, for me it was very good when it was in blackout in Portugal because we could use those lights. It was very functional. I have like a new bookmarks that switch pages alone. It's very fun. And I think the most bookish thing accessory that I have is like the stand for the Kindle, where you can put the Kindle and you have like the machine to just like being cuddly and like switch the pages alone. I think that is the biggest thing I have. There was a gift from my besties and I love it because like sometimes on the winter time you want to be cuddly, you want to like be, and I just put a link and I start reading. It's very good. Especially it doesn't work very well on the small Kindle, but like in the paperwhite, in the scribe which I have, which is bigger, it's perfect because it fits like perfectly. It doesn't collect any part of the text. I love it. 7. Arts and illustrations. How do cover art and illustration affect your reading experience? I think it only gives you a sense of the world of the characters look like. You know, one example I can give you is with this one. So this is Raven Scholar, which you want a new fave. If you haven't read it, read it. I have a full review here on the channel if you want to check why. But this is her main character. I haven't pictured her like that. I know she was black. That was not the point. I picture her more small, petite, you know, powerful with her brain, but not like as this figure. And I was like, maybe I read it wrong. I don't mind. But for example, the antagonist, or one of the main antagonists, which is a Zukwa-like, I picture him like it, and it's like, yeah, give it to me. But for example, Blood over Brighthaven, which I don't have here near me, but it has illustrations of the main characters of the city, and that helped me create the scenario in my mind. So I really like when hardcover or things like that have like these beautiful illustrations that give you the real city and the real elements. I really enjoy that. So yes, more please. 8. Format. Which format do you prefer? Hardback, paperback, audio, digital? Do different things for different situations? Yes, I'm the different things for different situations. So, traveling, commuting to work, definitely digital. It weighs less. Easier, you can switch reads, you don't have, if you are finishing a book, you don't need to bring 2 books, perfectly at home. Audiobooks, it depends. I'm not now an audiobook reader at this point. I don't know why. I'm not feeling it going to work. I'm feeling working to work and listen to music. I think I need to find new audiobooks to go back to that state. But yes, when I was in Poland, when I was visiting the Czech Republic, Czechia and Germany, I listened to a lot of audiobooks. That was my most prolific time listening to audiobooks. I was at home cooking, I was putting the audiobook instead of music. It was an amazing time, but I think it really depends. Now, in terms of paperback versus hardback, especially special editions, hardbacks, specifically not like small paper hardbacks. I don't think I can take this one. Like, this is pretty, yes, but it's small. I want this is in a big hardback, please. Usually Victoria Schwab is always like this small. I don't get why, but I like hardcovers and special editions. Paperbacks, I don't mind. I get still paperbacks, but if I have between a special edition hardback and a paperback, I'll go to the paperback. Or if the hardback is very cheap, for example, I got these 2 brand new books. So here, Reading Genius and Fever Star, like brand new hardbacks for less than €5 each, which is very, very cheap. So, yeah. There was a book falling apart now. Yeah, it happens. I need to fix that before filming the rest. So yeah, I think it really depends. Like I was saying, I like paperbacks. Sometimes they are cheap, sometimes they are books that you enjoy, especially in thrifting. You can get paperbacks for like £1 perfectly. Now, I need to tag some people. I'll tag 4 of my besties here on BookTube. So Steph from Coffee Over Apples, Natalie for Puzzle Rider, Ashley Media, and Sam from Grift Read. Those are my besties. I did a lot of things with them, so they are tagged on this tag, and if they want to do it, please do. And if you feel you want to answer these questions, answer in the comments. I would love to read your answers and what are your thoughts about my answers also. If you like my content, consider to subscribe and ring the notification bell so know when I post. I post short videos with recommendations, I post longer videos, I have reading sprints on the weekend, so if you want to join us, feel free to do it, and I see you guys in my next video, okay? Bye!